Well, good morning, Savannah, Georgia. Yes, it is April the 30th, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's very nice outside, 73 degrees, it's sunny. And we have with us this morning Dr. Pat Harris. We're going to be talking a little bit about early voting this morning. Dr. Harris, please introduce yourself.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Pat Harris here. I am busy in the streets and with this voting process. I am a retired educator, teacher, principal, you name it, I've been there. Very active in our community, a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, where I am the social action chair. So we are also engaged and very busy.
I hear you. Y'all had an event on Saturday, Walk It Out. And tell us, how did that go before we get into the meat of this program today?
It was excellent. Um, we had so many attendees. We talked about the voting process. We talked about how important it was for everyone to go vote. Uh, all of the participants walked the track at Savannah State University, walking out all of the things that prevent people from voting, the voting apathy, the voter suppression, anything that they felt it necessary to just walk it out of their system so they could get busy. We could all get busy for May 21st and for November 5th, which is a crucial election. So they were very engaged. Some walked, a few ran. And it was a moment in time where we could share with the community about the importance of what is about to happen.
Right. You know, a lot of people don't realize what is about to happen. They don't understand that it starts from the lower level and works its way up, not from the top and come down. It's not trickle down, it flows up. And when we can put the right people in the right places at the right time, we can do things that had not been done before. And right now, we're looking at early voting. We just started yesterday, and we wanted to make sure that we get people to understand that it's imperative they go out and vote. Uh, they can vote by mail, they can go to any of the early voting stations, but get out and vote. You know, we have been fighting for the opportunity to vote for many years. I know I've been out there on the battlefield for a long time, and uh, you don't have to say exactly how many, but how long have you been on that on in the struggle, Dr. Harris?
Oh my. I don't even keep up with it anymore. I don't keep up with the time anymore because the time passes by quickly. But a lot of my life has been spent um, teaching history and being engaged and involved in my sorority, um, out in the world, just explaining to people what elections are all about and that their vote matters. So I've been in the struggle for a very long time. I don't hide my feelings, I don't mince my words. Um, and I tell people all the time, we may be bent, but we're not broken. And so at this juncture in our history, um, and history is still unfolding because we're in a time period now where we don't know what the United States will look like come November 5th. Being a history teacher, Most of my career, I've never seen the United States in the state that it is in right now. And so I'm always engaged with people and have been engaged with people for a long time, just to let them know that no matter how you feel, you need to vote and you need to make your voice be heard. Stop being silent, wake up, and get busy. And just let the world know that you are part of this democracy in which they have enjoyed most of their lives, well, all of their lives. And so to think that something else might take place at this juncture is not in our best interest. So I'm out there motivating people, talking to them on the phone, talking to them in person, doing whatever I can do to make sure that we get our people out to vote. And not only the adults, but our young people. We have got to get them engaged. And that is what I'm going to be spending my time on in the next few months, are our young people, those 17 and a half, 18-year-old, 30, 40-year-olds. Let's go. Let's go to the polls and vote. Understand what this is all about and how important it is. So we're going to be in the schools. We're going to be on the corners. We're going to be everywhere just to entice people into believing and knowing that their vote matters. So that's what I'm doing.
You know, you said get on the corner, uh, but you know, we expose people to the people the fact that early voting is taking place, and we expose it daily to more than 250,000 people on the street corners, and it seems as though sometimes it goes by. Some people take it and run with it, and other people just seem like, well, I get there when I get there,
Mm-hmm.
if I get there.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to, as you say, we have to start working on our young people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it used to be. We used to be taught civics in school, and we knew what it took, what the right to vote meant. We have had people to die for this right. We had people like John Lewis who got beat severely. People like our own local guy Piccolo and W. Law. Oh God, over on the east side they got a park named after him. John Clark. All these folk fought to have the right for us to vote. Uh, we had right. We fought for segregation. People went out to Tybee and braved the times out there and stood their right to get blacks on Tybee Island. All this took place, and all this comes under your right to vote. And they think it's just something that they just don't like. Somebody just told them they had to do, but we had to fight for it, and we're gonna have to fight for it again because right now voter suppression is at its highest, and we're sitting back, and if we don't do something about it, then we'd be right back as we were back in 1920s.
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
that I think it's a shame that we can't get to our people and get them to understand the fix that they'll be in. Sometime, maybe at some point in time, we get somebody to do a film or something to show just how bad it was back there.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need to be able to go to the polls. If they open the poll every day, we need to have somebody at that poll every day voting,
Mhm.
so that would be we'd have that right. Um, uh, your fraternity, I know y'all worked hard at doing this. What are y'all doing? Other, I know you mentioned some things, but what else are y'all doing to get people out to vote?
Well, we have an aggressive agenda, um, and off the top of my head, just thinking about some of the stuff that we will be doing. We're about to hold the 7 days of advocacy, and in the Bible, seven is completion. So for 7 days, we're going to be, and this is all virtual. We're going to be talking about the importance of voting, having guest speakers on to uh, allow people to ask questions and to become more aware of how important elections are, especially November 5th. So, for 7 days, 7 whole days, we are going to be in virtual advocacy with speakers who are going to generate some knowledge and to help others who may not understand how powerful their votes are. So, and beyond that, we have a lot of other things that's going on. Um, an upcoming tour to visit different places in Georgia to ignite that passion for voting, um, and more activities that we can engage the people in. We have with you the Voter Classic, hopefully coming up soon as well, on the corner of Martin Luther King and MLK, um, where we hope to galvanize people, bring them together, and again, once again, to to help people to understand the situation that we're in right now and how important it is for them to become active participants in this process. At this juncture, everyone who is 18 years of age and older ought to be ready to go vote. I think that our time now is spent on so many other things that we've put voting on the back burner, and we've got to remove it and bring it back. And if not, we're going to begin to see things, and we already see some of them. All you have to do is listen and pay very close attention. We'll start seeing more things that are not going to be beneficial to us or to our children, and that's where we are at this point. We have to think about our children who are going to grow up in a society that they may not even know or realize what it will be like if it's turned around. So we should be the protectors of our democracy, and we should be the protectors of our children in a system where they will know that they're safe, and they will know that they have people who care about them. Um, so we're in and at a pivotal moment in history where we're going backwards. We're not going forward. We're going backwards into something that may not be beneficial to any of us.
Well, the saying is that everything that goes around comes around,
Mhm.
but we don't want it to turn around. Uh, our Black Media and A. Philip Randolph and Building Futures, all of us were going to get together, and we're going to do a voter marathon. And we're going to be on there, and we're going to talk to different people, bring different groups on. We're going to have you back on and have people like you, Miss James, Dr. Clark, uh, many more. Chad Mance from the NAACP. We're gonna have everybody on talking about the importance of going to the polls and vote. We're gonna put on a marathon that there's the first in our area, I believe, that we're gonna do it virtually, and we're going to be all over Twitter and YouTube and every place else.
Great.
We've got to get people to understand the importance of voting, and we want to make sure that we get some of our young folk together and bring them on with us,
Yes.
because they can enhance and get other people other young folk interested, and that's where the interest need to be at. Statistically wise, they are saying that 25 to 35 people aren't voting as much as they used to vote. We've got to get all these people back into the field of voting again and doing the right thing, doing their civic duty, and moving from A to B, C to D, so that we can get things done. So we have to be able to do these kind of things and make sure that we are taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to us, because we have so many opportunities presented to us that we let pass by because we don't know anything about it, because the politicians that are there aren't telling us about it. Then when we find out about it, it's too late, it's done, and it's over with. So we're doing these kind of things to make sure that we get the information to the people. It is a vulnerable community this morning, and it's time for our first break. So we're going to break away just for a minute. We'll be right back with you. Right back. Go ahead, Javon.
Hi, I'm Katie Brewington and I'm running for Magistrate Court Judge. Magistrate Court is often called the People's Court because people represent themselves or are pro se litigants. Magistrate Court handles civil claims up to $15,000, dispossessory proceedings, pre-warrant applications, and good behavior bonds. I'm a great candidate for judge because I have the experience, compassion, and drive to get the job done. I have been a probation officer, a criminal defense attorney, a solicitor, and a municipal court judge, and I will take all of that experience to get the job done. So remember, vote Katie Brewington, May 21st, from Magistrate.
All right, we're back with you. We have had some times in the past where voting has been suppressed, but we knew what we were looking at during that time. Now they're trying to disguise the voter suppression, and we have to be able to see the different tactics that they're doing. What are some of the tactics that you see, Dr. Harris?
Well, I think that some of the things that are coming forth are not new. I think that if we follow history, it's repeating itself. the threats, the warnings. Your name has been purged from a roll, the voter roll. Um, you may have voted before, but something has happened at this point where you're not able to vote. Requesting documentation that has already been provided. It's a number of things that is happening right now um, that make people feel like, well, it's not even worth it. Why am I going to vote if I have to prove that I am a registered voter? Why has my name been removed from the roll? Why has my precinct changed? It's a lot of things that happen to people that drive them away, and to this end, we cannot allow them to win. Um, in the whole United States of America, there is a plan. Believe it or not, I don't know exactly what the plan is, but if we're vigilant, we can know and understand that there is a plan to prevent some people from voting. And we have to be able to circumvent some of those issues that occur to prevent people from voting because that's their right. It's guaranteed to them. And so if they've not done something illegal or whatever to cause them to not be able to vote, they should be allowed to vote and not show up at a polling place um, and not be able to vote. So this is why we are impressing upon people to check your voter status. And that's very simple to do. Um, to check your voter status and see where you are. Make sure before you go to vote at any election that your status is okay and that you will be able to vote and not be turned around at a polling place. But there is a practice, and there are people definitely who are trying to prevent others from voting. And you mentioned something a little while ago. Um, and I wanted to add to what you said, and that is for people when they do go to vote, don't vote because you know somebody or that's your friend or that's your sister or whatever. Vote for people with substance. Vote for people who are going to make a difference in your life, your family's life, and the whole community in which you live. Oftentimes some people urge others to go vote for this person, go vote. But what have they done? What are they doing? What are they going to do? What are their promises that they're going to do? Um, some people have been in office for a long time and have done nothing other than to support themselves and benefit themselves, but they forget about who elected them to those offices. And I have a passion for um, letting people know. Uh, I mean, what are you doing? What have you done for your community? Your community's elected you, but what are you doing? Are you self-serving? Um, what are you offering them? Do you meet with them? What are you doing? So when we talk to people about voting, we need to talk to them about voting for people with substance and people who are going to be supportive of their communities and not have a self-interest where everyone else is left behind but them.
I agree with you there. You know, we were on a call. You and I were on a call one night, and it was brought up the fact that we have right at 22,000 people who are registered to vote but don't vote. Then we have another 22,000 that are registered to vote and vote seldomly. And we have to find a way to reach these people.
Mm-hmm.
Why register to vote and not vote? We have some that only vote for the presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
We need to vote in every election, not just one election every 4 years. We need to vote every time it comes around. There's an election just about every year,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to be able to vote, get out and vote. So, that's another issue that we have with people uh, not voting. Go ahead and tell me about that, Doc.
Well, I think that a lot of it is voter apathy. A lot of people don't feel that it's necessary for them to vote. Whatever happens is going to happen. One way or another is going to happen, and their vote is not going to really matter. But that's not true. Your vote matters, and it could be health issues, Medicaid, Medicare. Um, it could be gun violence. It could be a lot of things that will affect and your your families that you need to take an active interest in, um, as to why you're going to vote. What's on that ballot for you? Um, and on this in this particular election coming up on the 21st, there are a lot of things that you must answer yes or no to. Read those statements and make sure that you are answering correctly. Make sure that you're answering for whatever is in the best interest of you, your communities, your children, your families. Take a moment to read and try to understand everything that they're asking you. Is this what we need to do? Yes or no? Do we need to change this or do we need to change that? Yes or no? Vote your choice, but just make sure you vote and have a voice in what's going on with your livelihood, with your uh, presence in the community. And all of those people who sit out at elections are doing harm to themselves, literally speaking, and to their own uh, vulnerable communities. They need to understand that if they have not voted in a while, it doesn't mean that they can't go back and become an active voter. So I'm just suggesting that everyone take a look and see where you are in the voting process. When we're out, and we're calling them corners, Mr. Jerome, we're calling them corners. But when we're out in the communities, we have codes. We have um, QR codes where you can check your status immediately, and you can find out if something is wrong with your voter status. And when you find out that there's something wrong with your voter status, it needs to be adjusted so you can be cleared to vote. So all of those people who are out there not engaged, not involved, have that voter apathy, we're asking you to empower yourself. We're asking you to engage yourself. We're asking you to become resilient. We're asking you to elevate your power to vote because you have power. You're just not utilizing it. And you may think, well, one vote is not going to matter. That's not true. All votes matter. All votes matter. We matter. So we are going to have to find different ways of dealing with this issue of not voting. The fights that went on years and years and years, decades ago, just to get you that right to vote. And people have forgotten that. People lost their lives, their livelihood, everything, just so we could have the right to vote. And now that we've got the right to vote, why are we complacent? Why are we just laying back, not utilizing the power that we have? So I think we have a lot of work to do with all of those people you're talking about, but we're ready to engage them and try to get them actively involved in the process.
You said it a whole lot then, because these folk, it's hard to even for me to realize that we have that many people that's not voting. Uh, last year, yeah, last year they took, what was it, 20,000 names off the roll right here, and that was mind boggling,
Mm-hmm.
just to drop people off the roll.
Mm-hmm.
And again, here it is, voter suppression.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but if they don't go vote, then after so many years, they are dropped. So we have to keep them going back and forth to the polls. Uh, which do you have the list of the early voting places?
I don't have that list, but I really do need that list so I can circulate it.
I
Um,
uh, I do know that you can go to voter registration office.
mhm,
I think they still have the one at the Civic Center,
mhm. Yes, the Civic Center, I believe,
and
is one, and the elections office is another.
yeah, the library,
Mm-hmm.
Southside Library, and mosquito control, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to go. We need to get to those places to do our early voting. We have been in the streets for a long time. We've seen it, we've done it. But one thing I see that for some reason it ignites people is someone being brutalized. Then they'll come up, they'll get everybody get an uproar. We don't need to get to that point. We need to do what we need to do before then so we can stop that from going on. We can head off some of these incidents where people are just taken advantage of. Just the other day, we had a man up north that they put the knee on his neck, and he died. What, you know? How many people is gonna have to die for us to open our eyes? They're dying every day from one thing or another. But when we can stop some of this just by going and punching the button
Mm-hmm.
at the poll, putting the right person in the right place to do the right thing so that it can help us. But like you said, don't vote for somebody that you just know. Vote for somebody that's going to make a difference. Look at a person's
Yeah.
record.
Yes.
Look back and see what it is that they have done or what it is that they have done in the past that they can bring to the future, or what
Mm-hmm.
is they plan on doing in the future that will make a difference in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we do that, then we hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we hold them accountable, then we can make sure that everything is done the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get it done the right way, then we can all make it happen right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a well, we're not quite yet. Uh, I'm finna take another break, but we're not quite there yet. What do you think about you were talking about the event on MLK and Gwinnett. So how's that shaping up?
Well, we need to set a date for it, and we need to do a lot of advertisement for it. I'm sure that it is not going to take place before May 21st, but
Okay.
thereafter, we are on the ground running. And you did mention something that caught my ear. And a lot of times we are reactive to situations. We're not proactive, and that's what we need to become, is proactive. So when these situations, like you're saying, the knee on a person's neck, all of the violence that is occurring, you will see the gun laws, or some of these bills that they want passed for gun violence, and look at that and see what's happening. And it's not just gun violence, but it's criminal offenses that happen to people. They may have done something, but you don't have to put your knee on their neck. You don't have to stop them from breathing. You don't have to cause them to have anxiety attacks, or do anything that's harmful to them, because you're angry and because of who they are. And you don't have to kill somebody. But this is the world that we're living in right now. And unfortunately, we have people who don't mind doing that, and figure that that they'll get away with it. Thankfully, the courts have been kind of adamant about these sorts of things. You just killing somebody because you have on a uniform, that uniform should make you more positive and make you more proactive in your selection, your behavior selection towards an individual who has committed a crime. And criminal activity has been in the world for a very long time. Unfortunately, today, a lot of that criminality comes to people that look like me and you. And so at this juncture, we have to find, again, people who are willing, who are strong enough, who are believers in justice, and justice for all people. The government that we have is supposed to be by the people, for the people, of the people. And sometimes that's not what it is. It is everything but that.
Hold
So,
that thought right there, Doc. Keep that thought. We're gonna have to go to a quick
okay,
break, and we'll be right back.
okay.
Transformative. That's what Sonya Jackson is. Creative. That's what Sonia Jackson is. Compassionate. That's what Sonia Jackson is. Leadership. That's what Sonia Jackson demonstrates. Dedicated. That's what Sonia Jackson is. Chatham County, there's never been a tax commissioner like Sonia Jackson. She has made the office more accessible, more consistent, more convenient, and more service-friendly. Let's keep Sonia Jackson while she takes the tax commissioner's office to new heights. On May 21st, cast your vote for a great public servant. Vote Sonia Jackson for tax commissioner.
All right, we're back. We were talking about violence and all of that. And you were saying that it's supposed to be for the people, by the people. And, I think that's something that a lot of times people, the officers don't realize their role that they play. They bring their personal problems to the job with them. And when you take your personal problems with you, you're going to let it affect you. And your personal beliefs has no space in your job. I may not like you. That don't mean I have to take it out on you. So, I may not love you, but I may not like you, but I have to love you. So, we have to do what we're supposed to do and the way we're supposed to do it. So, we have to realize that our jobs are separate from our home lives and our street life. I'll put it that way, our street life, because a lot of them are in the streets and after work, and they associate in the different circles that they shouldn't be associating with. Then they have to bring it back and, well, I got this one and I got that one. No, that's not what your job is. Your job is to protect and to serve. And if we elect the people, put people in the right places, in the right offices, and they look back at them, and like I said earlier, look back at them and see what they're all about. Then we hold them accountable to what they're supposed to be doing. I think from here out, accountability is going to play a big part in the election process from now on. Accountability is going to really show people that, hey, people are paying attention to us. Let's make sure we do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not doing the right thing and people hold you accountable and they hold a scorecard on you,
Mm-hmm.
everybody will know what you've done.
Exactly.
That scorecard is going to tell the story. So once the scorecards tell the story, everybody can see it. We bring it on a show like this and show it, then everybody will know what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about the accountability process that has been and how it should go?
Well, I'm very honest. Anyone who knows me know that I'm very honest, so I speak from my heart. I don't think there is any accountability with some of our elected officials. I think and I believe with all of my heart that some of our elected officials talk bravely and boldly before they are elected to an office just to excite you and to make you believe that these are some of the things that they're going to do. But once they have been elected, they turn around and become the person who they really are. The promises that they've made, the things that really matter, they've forgotten. They don't remember. you're irrelevant to them. If it's not about them or what they want, it's not about anything. And and Mr. Jerome, just to be very clear, I admire elected officials. Um, I will support elected officials as long as they are for the people and not for themselves. The greed, the backbiting, the forgetfulness of who put you in that office and can really, really take them out of that office through a recall. So, I mean, it's so many things that can be done, but people are sometimes complacent and they allow our elected officials to do what they do. And once they feel comfortable doing what they do, it's a continuous process. It doesn't change. It just gives them more power to continue doing some people the way that they do them. And so I think accountability is so very important. It is so necessary. I could not have kept my job all those years without being accountable. And I'm sure you could not have either. But being an elected official means that that's what is happening. That's what some of them believe. And it's our fault. It's really our fault. It's the community's fault. It's the voters' fault because we allowed them to not be accountable. And that's wrong. That's why we're in some of the situations that we're in right now. That's why all communities don't look like the other communities. That's why some communities are saturated with things that they should really not be saturated with. That's why some communities don't get the things that they need to get. It's a whole lot of variables here, but it's a lot of our fault, a lot of the voters' fault, because we allowed them to do what they want to do. And I'm going to speak out. I wish everybody else would speak out and stop being so silent about the things that happens in their community that they know is wrong, that you don't you're not represented as you should be represented, but you do have a representative. So I think that we need to again just wake up and stop being complacent, um, and stop thinking that it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we have some candidates that are running that doesn't have any competition. They're running and they're running an incumbent, and I think that every candidate should have somebody opposing them, because if you don't, then hey, they're gonna do what they want to do. Well, I can do it. We've got county seats and that are up for grab. We got the school board seats that are up for grab. We got state seats that are up for grab. Judgeships that are up for grabs.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it all starts right at the bottom. Because when we put people in these positions, they get to talk to the people and carry our cares to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
They take our wishes to the next level and tell people what we want. And then when they tell them what we want at that level, they either have to do it or then we hold that next level accountable. And it keeps going up the ladder and up the ladder until it gets to the White House.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we just keep on and make changes there. They want to make changes there every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have to keep going, and we have to make the changes down at the bottom and hold the accountability there so that we can get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to start waiting on trickle down economics to work, and we have to build an economy from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
There's many things that could be done here. There are many problems that we got here. We got housing problems here.
Yes.
We got energy problems here. We we've got sanitation problems here. All these can be done at the polls. People don't know where the next meals are coming from,
Mm-hmm.
but they're sitting back, not going to the polls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you don't know what you're gonna have for dinner, what you're gonna have for tomorrow's meal,
Mm-hmm.
some people even look as far as Sunday, and it's just Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Fair to figure out what we're gonna have for Sunday dinner. This is when we have to get out to vote because something isn't right. Jobs are not where they're supposed to be. The price that we're being paid on the job is not right. So we have to make sure that we do everything the way it should be done and make sure that we get the right folk and put them in the right places. Early voting gives us the opportunity that those who may be working one day that's not working this day can go to the poll on this day, and then somebody else can go the next day. But go to the poll. I don't care how you go, but go. If you have to take a friend to take a friend to get you, call the A. Philip Randolph. We got people that can take you to the polls. Don't sit back and don't go to the poll. We have many ways to get you to the polls, so we get you there. Call the NAACP. They would call somebody to get you to the poll. You've got to go vote. And when you go vote and let your voice be heard, then you can stand tall and be proud to tell somebody that, hey, I voted in this election and that's my candidate. That's the person I put in office when he's doing the right thing. But when he's doing the wrong thing, don't be afraid to say, I put him there, but I'm going to take his butt out of there. So I think that's where we're going to be. We got about 5 minutes left. And I'm going to let you do about 2-3 minutes your closing statement, Dr. Harris. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What I will say to your last statement is that we need poll workers.
Okay.
We need people who are going to get involved in this voting process as well. I know that it might be a little frightening now, but there is some training forthcoming. I don't know what the date is yet. I'm waiting for that date. But if there's anyone who's interested in becoming poll workers, Mr. Jerome, we need to get a platform for them to let us know so we can let them know when that training is going to be so they can attend the training. I'm working on that as well. However, in this platform with people watching, there may be someone here who might want to be a poll worker. And in elections, we have to have poll workers. They're the ultimate source of the election process, as well as those people who are sitting there checking your driver's license, your date of birth, and everything else. Those folk are important as well. And to this end, I will simply say that for a very long time and for decades ago, Again, people lost their lives for us to have the right to vote. And we take that so lightly. And at this point, and this juncture in anyone's life, no one should be taking that lightly. Everybody should be going to the polls before May 21st and November 5th, or on that particular day. You should be in at a precinct casting your ballot, casting your thoughts, casting your wants, casting your needs, and letting people know, yes, I voted. Yes. And I'm voting for what is going to be for everyone, not just one particular person, but for everyone, for your children. Go vote. They're our future. And we have to embrace all of this legislation to protect our babies who are going to grow up in a world that you wouldn't even want to grow up in if things don't change. If we don't start electing people to office who are going to represent the people instead of representing themselves, we have done nothing.
I
The
agree
voting
with
process
you.
was nothing.
I agree with you, Doc. We're running out of time, but until next week, we will be right back with another vulnerable community. We will have another powerful guest on next week. And when we come back next week, we'll be glad to see each and every one of you all over again. Look forward to seeing you again. This is the Vulnerable Community, brought to you by the A. Philip Randolph Institute. We thank everybody for showing up this morning, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye right now. Bye now.
Like that.